Hey, it's the Wildfire Guy. Today we're looking at another house that's doing wildfire defense right, so that you can learn how to protect your own property. Let's dive in. All right, so this is fairly new construction, 2023, and it's got a lot of wildfire stuff built into it. So vents made of honeycomb material. So that's basically going to be the intumescent paint vents that seal up when they get enough heat going through them, and kind of prevent embers from going inside. They basically seal up completely, or designed to do so anyway. Let's jump in and take a look at the house. Very nice, very modern. All right, so let's take a look at this. This siding is made of metal. So we've got our 6-inch non-combustible at the base of the wall because it's all metal, right? And I mentioned it had dense glass underneath this. So you actually have a non-combustible surface and you have a fire-resistant barrier behind that. It's a great construction method for a fire community. They don't have their zone 0 in place. You see plants and stuff all around this area, which isn't ideal, but that's not, that's not their goal. It looks like they've got the structure itself is very fire resistant, and they're comfortable putting some plants in there. Zone 0 requirements would have you remove these plants from within 5 feet of the house. One other thing to look at, so they're using a lot of steel. So all of this pergola-like system here, that's all structural steel. You can see the bottom is actually on pins off the concrete. So good use of non-combustible materials for architecture. I like it. They've got a nice swimming pool there that they're using for water as well. And looks like a deck up top on the second level. Of course, the garage space is always great because you usually have some concrete there protecting the house, giving some defensible space. Oh, the inside. Why do all these houses, why is everything painted white these days? Is that an actual thing, or is this like a, real estate AI that just overlays everything with white? In fact, look at this. This TV here just doesn't look real. Maybe they are actually watching some movies there, but maybe not. All right, we're back outside. Take a look at this. This is interesting. So we have, again, non-combustible surface. So all of that's the metal. And then look down here. This is graded. It's not a solid wood. You'd often see, somebody putting teak, Brazilian teak wood or something like that, which is still wood, still combustible. So they put a non-combustible metal grid of some type here. I'm not familiar with this product, but the spacing of the grid is close enough that you'd be comfortable walking on. This house was clearly built with fire resistance in mind. All right, let's take a look at this one. So this is like maybe a back patio, but it's got some great features that we should take away. The framing here is all steel. And then the bottom, we've got these overlays of masonry and brick and rock. Then let's notice the patio furniture they chose to use. This appears to be an aluminum frame, couch, and coffee table. And then look at this. This is a concrete side table. All we need to do on this, on a red flag day, is grab those cushions. And you have a fire-resistant patio. Things burning under a covered patio are bad news for houses. Think about what you put under your patio. Have a plan for red flag days. Pick up the things that could ignite. So here's another patio area, and they use the same furniture. You can again see this is all aluminum. The cushions, you can grab those quickly, take them inside. Or if you're evacuating, throw them out towards that swimming pool. Get them away from the house. This is interesting up top. Shade structures, right? Always something to pay attention to. I think this is going to be a non-combustible material. I don't know what it is. Can't tell from this photo, but that's a great shade system. I've seen folks use mesh. You can get stainless steel screen, if you will, and you can get different size openings, different size wires, create different size openings. It works as a shade. So you can get it powder coated if you want it, different colors, but you can put that up there. It's permanent. It's not going to deteriorate, and it provides good shade. Know that there's things like that available that are fire safe, that you can attach to your house and not have to worry about it down the road. All right, let's move on. This patio area, again, looks great. Just have a plan to move that doormat. They do burn. Just have a plan to, kick that doormat away from the house on a red flag day, or replace it with the doormat. They make ones that are basically like a chainmail out of steel, and they don't deteriorate. They actually give you some room for the dust to come off your shoes. I've got one, works great. I actually prefer it for cleaning shoes than the regular doormat. It doesn't say welcome on it, but it is functional. So maybe for those functional doors, use something that you don't have to remove. And that front door, have a plan to get that thing out of the way. This is great defensible space. If you look here, there's plants. There's even wood mulch, right? It's at least 10 feet away from the house here. All these plants are spaced out. Most of them look fairly fire resistant. I see a lot of cactus and succulents. The wood mulch, you definitely don't want it near the house, but have it in your garden bed out away from the house. That's perfectly fine. It will burn, and embers land in wood mulch. That whole area that's connected with wood mulch is going to burn. So just have that in the back of your mind. Be aware. If you're putting wood mulch down in a fire area, embers will ignite that wood mulch, and whatever that thing is connected to, it will burn until it reaches that other area. So you are creating a wick anytime you're installing wood mulch. This is a beautiful spot to install it. It's got great separation from the house. If a fire came through, all these plants are going to burn, but they're not going to connect it to the house, so they're not going to impact the house directly. Looks great, good defensible space. It's a reduction in fuels once you have them spaced out like that. You don't want like a giant hedge here because that would release a lot of energy all at once. This is going to release energy slowly, and that radiant heat is going to be less as it reaches the house. So here we can see that shade area again. This tree is beautiful. It's close to the house. We've got a fully non-combustible seating area and superstructure and pillar there, and it's still probably another 10 feet past it. So you've got a great view of a beautiful tree, and it's not causing a lot of risk to the house. You can see we have some vents on the wall. On dryer vents, be aware, you need to keep those things clean. The lint does accumulate in the dryer vent. So periodically, take a look at your dryer vent and clean out the lint. All right, this is a beautiful house. I think we have some takeaways. Apply them to your house as best you can, and let's live fire safe. Thanks, guys.